everybody. Welcome to your daily fix with NFA OFC, not financial advice. Of fucking course. Today, Pope is on location over on Vancouver Island. He's going to be joining us from a friend of ours from his living room, which is going to be awesome. I haven't seen him in a couple of days. Today, money flow cycle, which gives us a heads up on how the money flows in the market so we can make better decisions, not emotional decisions, people. Market cap dominance, Bitcoin and ETH. And then we're going to go check up on Cosmos or Atom, Kasuma, Phantom, and Casper. And then because there was a little talk on Gala and just kind of what that's doing, we're going to mark that bad boy up. So, hey, on location, Pope, where are you at?
Oh, I didn't mean to go there that fast.
He was like, ease us into it, man.
Ooh, slow, good and slow. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We're going to try and keep it as fast as we can. I have been traveling. It's been my focus, unfortunately, has been to IRL, but we'll get right into it. And we'll talk a little bit more after the show with what's coming up this week for all of you, which is quite exciting. But as I always say, let's dig into it. So, I mean, what a fantastic weekend. I didn't get to watch as much as I wanted to be. But we finally broke out of this consolidation box. And what did we say we always wanted to be breaking? Was this $2 trillion market cap area. And did we ever? We didn't want to see this curl. We thought it might get tight over the weekend, and then we wanted to see it take off, these two lines here. So let's zoom in a bit. And as per typical, let's clean up our Monday chart and kind of have a look at where we think and what we think is going to happen for the next little bit. I mean, we're not far off, guys. This is what I love to see. This is where we were hoping. This is where we were expecting. And this is what happened. Fabulous. And anytime we have money coming in, it means things are pumping, which is always a great thing. And I mean, a lot of money came into the market over the weekend. A ridiculous amount.
$34 billion, $52 billion, I'm guessing.
Oh, far,
37 billion.
For where we are at right now, 201.5.
So close.
So close. Supreme was actually giving some updates live as it was happening in the Discord. Great to have him back. I'm gonna love seeing it, because this is when we're positioned properly, which hopefully you were. We're taking lots of profits. Right now, of course, critical greed is firing. This makes sense. After that much money infused into the market, yep. Are we positioned still to run and have more money? Yep. We drew this parallel channel on Friday saying it was going to break out. And we were looking for those, what we drew in that we just deleted those lines earlier. We had our pullback and we're off. Yeah.
Mutant Prism is who I've not seen up on here before, was asking any way we can find out where that money's coming from.
You could be looking at your total market caps of other markets, see what's pulling back. If none is pulling back, this is cash on sidelines. This is dry powder of investors that have been waiting for specific parameters to happen. I haven't had, just due to travel, I haven't had a chance to look at any of our 200 EMAs and where those are sitting on some of our major things. And when we cross and settle above those 200 EMAs, that's a massive confirmation for traditional money to get off the sidelines. So I'm willing to bet with this much infused, we broke some of these things in different areas. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to have a look at what's going on. Where's our, hold on. Yeah. So we're right now, just a quick glance, we're definitely, a lot of that money is coming out of the S&P 500. We're down 0.38%. That's massive in $1 trillion market cap. So a big chunk of that, I bet, came out of the S&P 500. But I would also, it would look like we would have money on the sidelines finally entering in, which I think we're going to see more of. Right now, lots of up. We've already had a little bit of pullback. This is where, when we're doing the short-term trading, we really follow how fast it's moving in and out. And we do that, say, on the lower time frames. And we could expect on the 2-hour time frame, it might be time for some money to be coming out. This makes a lot of sense. And by some, that's a lot, already has.
Can we look at this and just like we're looking there and we're expecting retracements on any other coin, can we look at this and expect a retracement on this and anticipate things like that?
That's exactly why we watch it.
That's so cool.
So we've had our critical greed fear pull. We've already pulled back 16 billion. Makes sense. We said how much came in from our bottom to the top. There's 174 just in the last 18 hours. Now, we started from top to bottom, so that's why the negatives are there. But so we can see a lot of money's come in. Makes sense. A little has come out. We're having a little bit of pullback. Critical is fired. This is where I either want to see more come in or stabilization. And if you're trading on the shorter time frames, this is why it's important to watch. Absolutely. Because as soon as it pulls back, and same with our DOM, we know once those switch, we're either on an alt run or an alt leg. Look what happened. This is what we wanted to happen. Where's our Friday? We saw this playing out and we said we wanted to crash it down. It happened 2 days prior than we wanted it, but we got it over the weekend. Man, did we call that. And then what happened? Boom. A lot of money has gone into Bitcoin. This makes sense when you have $200 billion coming into the market cap. Of course, a lot of that's going into Bitcoin and staying there for the moment. Now we're waiting for this. We really are. And if this much has come out from the alt run and we're starting to have a pullback, which it looks like, this to me makes me happy. We'll take all that away. We called that nicely, just a little early. This next on the daily will be interesting to watch. Is more money going to be coming into Bitcoin and staying in there for a bit? How fast now is it going to be going from Bitcoin into the alts? Is it going to stay in the alts a little longer? We don't know yet. We don't. We haven't had any examples of it yet where it's not staying in and coming out fast out of alts. Now, if you've been playing the slow trade game, it's been great. We've been having these natural retracements that we talk about, which is that pull of profits out. On those natural retracements, on slow long-term trades, you're in it for a few months or the year. We don't worry about those pullbacks. If you're fast trading, you want to see, did that really just drop that fast in front of us? We want to see these pullbacks because then we know it's running into the alts. Bitcoin, damn, did it tear. We used to have 2 other big lines that we deleted last week that went to the top of this box and the bottom of this box. Don't know if you remember, if you were watching. Should have left them. We said most likely it would be a fight at this price point. But also all last week, we said we'll most likely consolidate in the weekly, pull underneath, and then it can rocket up here just as fast as it could possibly rocket down here.
And that's a weekly that it made it up to, yeah? If I'm seeing that right?
Right here is absolutely, this is the weekly consolidation
Yeah.
of Bitcoin from ages ago on when we're looking on that.
I'm curious to see if it'll pop up in there and stay in there. It's interesting.
This is what we're retesting. You can see we pulled back right to this value. Right. Now, I would like to basically see this. That would be healthy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see us rocket contest this and then go off. And I didn't pick that as a spot for anything other than let's have a look. Where in this consolidation box is our support and resistance? Ooh, sorry. We haven't been in here. We hadn't marked these daily lines yet. So in here, it makes sense that we're going to hit, and there's not many in here. We'll leave it at that. Just grabbing that squiggle hits that line. We'll leave it. We literally just took where we thought we'd consolidate in price action and get to here, and we'll leave it here. Let's just see how this plays out. It would make sense that we would pull back to this 55,314, the 55,000, that even psychology number. Right? We can see money has been being injected. We know things are getting excited for the halving. This year is a little different because of the ETFs. With that institutional buying, is that bringing us a better chance of not having that pre-halving pullback? That nobody knows. But that's why we always look at the different case scenarios when we're planning our entries and our exits. Being prepared for each one is how we win. So nice always to get a nice rip out of Bitcoin. Holding it is even better. So that's what we want to see this week. We want to see it hold, and we've been having these nice pops. And remember, when we say we leave these areas, these are these areas in here that we typically rocket through. We picked these purple area rectangles because that's the consolidation. That's the majority of the price action. What's not in the majority is fast price action in either direction, up or down. But we're in bullish trending. We have been for a while. That makes sense.
I love it when that kind of stuff stays consistent, that we see that that's our blank space. It rockets through, and here we see a rocket just doing exactly that. Love that.
Love that shit, as I always say. Right? So far, again, no real surprises. If you've been with us 35 shows, crazy. Nothing so far has been like, oh, wow, we missed the ballpark. Everything so far has been doing what we've been wanting it to do, expecting it to do, and trading within it. Ethereum, I mean, speaking from 35 shows, we've been calling Ethereum like a boss. It's been doing everything we want it to do. We are absolutely in critical greed of the value because we're at that 32,377. We wanted to hold this curve, which we were talking about before. We thought worst case scenario, we would, and this was our micro bull bear curve, and we've rocketed it. We've got the spread. This is the best case scenario. Our micro bear curve did not pan out, and this was long term anyways. But our price action absolutely did.
Space Boy said that critical greed is never ending on ETH, and it's been going on for a while. It's just
it has been, and
blowing through those trend lines.
What we said before, how many times, was ETH hasn't had its day yet. all the narratives have been away from ETH. What a lot of people don't get with the different blockchains and things like that is there are only two that are really decentralized at the moment. And that is Bitcoin and ETH. And the rest development and phases like that. And ETH is only a bit away before we're back into these other areas of weekly contesting where we start to see these massive gains. I can see why we didn't do consolidations in here because it's literally just where the weeklies are at the moment. We could do a weekly consolidation with the others. Let's do that quickly. Sorry, the internet here isn't nearly as good. It stands to me right now just, whoa, laggy. That right now on the weekly seems to be where the majority. Oh, I'm clearly unlocked. My apologies. Of the price action is coming back for support and then taking off. So we're right in that on the weekly. Oh. So if we can hold this area in here on the weekly for ETH, we're doing good. With the way everything's going, I think same thing. We'll consolidate in this middle here, try to break out and retest. These are low numbers for ETH.
Would you say that even though the micro bear is just still looks like it's got legs on the weekly?
Oh, it has so much legs. We are still on a nothing but an upward motion.
So do you think that it'll consolidate then because of that?
Quickly, on a weekly, it'll be more of a pullback. And that might just be in terms of wick. Because when I say consolidate, we're on a weekly. You got to remember when we're talking consolidating, you zoom in and you start to see where the consolidation happens. When we look at it just like this here, look at our micro bear bull. Look what just happened. Boom. But we know we can't have this much up without a little bit of pullback. People are going to take profits. It's to be expected. Just to where it's current without pullback, 28 days, 4%. Come on. And that's without the pullback. So, yeah, we'll have people take profits. But we are bullish trending, bullish market, ETF, all that. That it makes sense to me. Oh, man, sorry. It's definitely a delay here. That we would a little bit of pullback, and we're going to try and fight this 33.35 or this, sorry, 33.39. Then we're going to try and fight this 35.17. And these areas are left blank because we know we're fast. So 33 to 35 should be fast. We can stay above both these consolidation, but they're probably one and the same because we did it quick and dirty. But if we can get out of here, consolidate on here, we're through. We are through this so fast. We might rocket right through it, but if we don't retest it, we're coming right back. We might not come back for long, but don't think we're not coming back. Everything has ups and downs. Everybody's excited. Would I be buying ETH right now? No. Just have massive pump. There's so many other things we could find to buy. But if you got in when we said 35 episodes ago, or actually it was about 30, it's on a downward trend for the first 5, if I remember. You're laughing.
We didn't know much back then. We were all just little babies.
We little babies. Gambling our magic computer beans. Where do we start? Let's start at the top. Cosmos. This has been great. This looks dirty. Let's go back to when we were talking on Friday. We gave it 3 possibilities because we didn't know what the market was doing. Was money coming in? Was money staying, or was money leaving? So we played 3 cases. This was one case. It was going to stay above the daily consolidation support here. So we gave ourselves an entry right here, which hit on Saturday for the record. If it started to come down, if these bull bear bands started to come down, that's what these were. We were saying if these bands here started to come down, we could look for an entry within consolidation possibly in here. We talked about strategy of how you could have 2 limit entries to dollar cost entry. This one would have hit. This one clearly did not. So get rid of your limit buy. Your capital is no longer tied up. You got in here. You got in Saturday. Let's just take the middle where we said to go, which would have been on Saturday. So there's the middle of the circle there. So right now, current price here today. In 3 days, you did 15.67% over the weekend by limit buy, and how we talked about, and how we also said worst case scenario, if we had that pullback that we see sometimes pre-halving, it might get down to this support resistance level from early February, and it would consolidate here. We're in a bullish trend. This is worst case scenario. Second worst case scenario. Best case scenario. You had 3 entries. One hit for 15.67%. And the beauty of spot trading, this didn't cost you anything. Cancel your limit entries. You should have canceled on Saturday, of course, but there you are. Would I be buying into Atom right now? No. Would I be taking profits? Yes. If I was not holding this for long term, yeah, take some profits. Don't take all your profits. We have spread. On the 4 hour, we still have room to run. How much? Don't know. Critical greed fire. That indicates consolidation and pullback. So that's healthy over the weekend, man. We talk about 1%. We've been hitting bangers a lot. Yeah, 15%. It's great. It's fabulous. Moving down the line, Phantom. Original entry, back down here. What did we say could happen? Money could leave the market. It would go up and down. Might come down to this level. Possibility, absolutely. This is our weekly support. Or it could go up and start to walk up. I said, don't buy the fear. Remember, we're playing this long term to get back up to here. So what did we do? We said, wait for the retest after this on the daily. Well, the retest was up here. Did it take off? Absolutely. These bands spread. And if you're playing the bands, you would know we're off to the races, as I always say, according to all of you. And I think we should start drinking you. So
don't drink and trade.
Never. That's the greatest way to lose money. Trust me. So yeah, we've had a bunch of ups. Expect a little pullback. We're hitting these daily support and resistance. We're bouncing in them. We've been playing Phantom pretty much for a long time, since here. So we know we're going to be somewhere in here is probably going to be a good entry on a pullback. Zoom in, go on the 4s, go on the 2s if you want to get in this. Don't buy greens. We know red sales are always coming. Wait for them. If you're in Phantom, you've been in here since this long, a little bit of pullback coming, but not much. Why do I say not much on the 4 hour? Look at our spread. On the 4 hours, critical greed firing? If you're short trading this, watch. This is going to run. As soon as this starts to curl or fires, take your profits. If you're short trading this, wait. If you're long trading this, none of this matters. You're laughing because we're working our way up to these points, which we've been
I'm gonna be holding on to mine.
right? Which we've been talking about for how long? And Phantom's a great project. Don't blame me. This is a great long-term hold. Due to, I always say, if we don't talk about finance, hence why I'm trying to do this. There's 4 things the world could be better. If we could talk about, finance, mental health, sex, drugs, blah, 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 that world would be a better place. At a funeral today. So haven't been able to get to everything I want. Kind of a thing, but I hope to have my long-term hold list for all of you here shortly. Am I going to buy my set and forget long-term holds right now? No, everything's pumping. Do I already own some? Yeah, absolutely. Do I want to acquire more of different projects? Yes. Am I waiting? Mm-hmm. And as soon as I know which ones I'm targeting, you guys will too. There's always another trade. If you're having FOMO because you've missed out on some of these, we got tons more coming. We're just getting started. This is show 35. Come on now. Kusama. Oh, this has been fun. I mean, this is where we called. You got in. This is where we called on the weekend, on Friday's show, after this massive jump. We said, this is where you wanted to get in. Damn, if you made that a limit entry, it hit and did it. Let's do from the date. So right now, here today, another 15%. And we have legs to run. We're going to have a little pullback. We've had nothing but ups. If you're slow trading this, you're not cashing out. You're holding. Because we've been talking about this since here, this gold bar. And we've been saying, that's the delay here. We've been saying we're going for our 55.93%. We're 2/3 of the way there, guys. Oh.
Space Boy says, I always find it hard to buy if the retest candle is a lot higher than the trend line it was supposed to retest. I find that too. It's like finding on the retest. You say buy on the retest, that's fine, or buy on the retracement. And because we don't know when that's going to happen, that's experience. That's experience.
It's experience, but it's also the safest way to guard your capital. Are you going to get all those percentage gains winning on retests? No. But you're protecting your capital the most that way. There are people I now know in our group that just trade based on our micro bear bull firing. Mm-hmm. And they take that. I'm always looking for the belly. But we know sometimes the belly can just lead right to another belly. And that's when you have to, prime example, if you got greedy here and you didn't get out here, it didn't take you long to get below your entry on this belly. Then you're doing it again. And if you didn't take your profits, this is where dollar cost entry or the Bollinger Band theory, entry. And that's why understanding how your micro bear bull works could have saved you a lot of pain in here.
The Space Boy said, so the problem is my greed.
Yes, Space Boy. You, me, everybody else. 10% skill set, 90% emotion. Right? And here we are. Great entries here, great exits here. What did we talk about on Casper? This has been a boss call all the way back. We said we'd have a pullback. It went a little lower than our call on the weekend. But even if you got in our call, or where we said limit buy, you're still in profit. We chose the weekly support. It broke that weekly and went down to this daily. You could have limit buy multiple of these entries and dollar cost entry. Just say for round numbers, you got $1,000. You could have put 3 entries, a limit buy, 333, 333, 333. All right. Boom, boom. You would have hit 2 of them. Now you dollar cost entry in the middle. Multiple strategies to how these tools work. And I know I can't just info dump all of them all the time at once. But now that we're getting into it and we're getting into the groove a little more and we're drawing entry circles and exit targets for if you missed our short to get into our long, you know, you're still, like I said, right now, just by catching that 1 entry on Friday here to current price right now here today, in 3 days, you're still up 2.31%. And our goal with Casper, just like we walked it down to here, is to just walk it right back up to here. And right now, if you got it in the current price, which don't wait for a pullback, but if you did, oh, come on, computer, don't give me that much lag. Right to our weekly support, we're still looking at a 39% trade from today. Are we going to have a little bit of pullback? Yeah. Are we going to have some ups? Yeah. Are we going to have pullbacks? Yeah. You know, so even though that 2% to some people tuning in or some people watching all the shit doesn't feel like massive, this is huge money we've been doing. It's been great.
I think when we get the perspective of, you know, things because they shot up a lot. And so people are seeing these higher percentages, you know, we see this 2%, they're like, duh, what a waste. But we got to get back to those fundamentals of what we've been talking about for so long of.
And don't chase. There are going to be things. Supreme, another one. Oh, God, I love this guy. Another thing you get in the head is we have these, and we've talked about this before, where there is a shift. You know, we went from a little AI into DeFi. Why? Because experienced traders know the profits come out. And that's why we're going through all of our tokens and we're looking for these, the hunt. We're looking for the entries. Where's the smart money going? All right. All right. Same thing on Aave. Our entry was, we thought it was going to happen over here. We caught it on the weekend. So if you put your limit buy in where we said, which was the 95.61, you would have caught it on the Saturday. So we were off by the day, but we hit the target for the price. And from our entry, God, I love the internet here. So from our entry call to today, 8.8%. And we have legs to run still on the daily. Are we going to have the retracements along the way? Absolutely. Right. So we're doing well. We're playing the same game as we're talking about to here. This is our goal. Our goal is this 119 line. We knew this was going to take time. Playing out just like we want. Beauty. Don't worry if you're not in trades. I have a bunch coming when I get home. There's always another trade. There's tons coming. We quickly talked about Render. What did we say about Render? It reached its all-time high. What did we want to see? We wanted it to consolidate and hold this level. It could pull back down to this level. Worst case, it could pull back down to this level. And these were all support and resistance of it in this past. And we weren't sure, is this time to curl and enter a micro bear? Is it just going to consolidate and we're off and up again? And that's what we said. We figured out it'll probably bounce around, up and around in here, and then we're off again. We're at an all-time high. As I said that, I don't like trading anything at its all-time highs. This is all uncharted territory. Do I think Render is going to be a great token long-term? Absolutely. Would this be one set and forget? It was. I don't know if it is currently because of this situation. And as I said before, I've been in a Render for ages. I love Render. Gas was brought into us. Who is Gas? Was that Spaceboy?
It may have been. I can't remember.
Sorry for not remembering. Obviously, lots on the plate. And we did rudimentary. Look how rudimentary this was, and we said we were looking for the retest here. Best case scenario, retest in here, get in here, and we should walk up. Worst case scenario, we're going to come down and you'll get an entry down at this consolidation. First entry hit. There's your retest and off. It held the weekly support. Now, same thing with the current lines here and here. It's hard to tell, is this going to curl or off? And I don't know enough about this token, but it does look like to me that it's wanting to get into this top area of consolidation up in here. And we know this is going to be hard resistance when it gets up here. Something to keep watching. If you grabbed it from the retest, great entry. Let's say broke, came down, got it. Let's say you didn't even get it best. You got it in the middle of this candle. The price right now here today, you're looking at 0.85. Nothing exciting, but this was just quick random. 2 limit buys would have had you in profit. Gala. All right.
Guess the Gala's been a long-term love of mine. One of my first coins.
Probably because it's a long-term love of mine. Won't get into all of it. Research the team behind this gaming token. Absolutely fabulous. And I've done very well in and out of this token. I have mostly, in full transparency, swing traded this. And it was, I'm not saying it still is, one of my favorites at the time to swing trade. But let's have a look at what's going on, because it's been asked a few times and it's been performing well. Did you not get into this, Miss Crypto Katie?
I may have purchased some about a week or so ago because I had some good feel skis. And then I held on to it. I was going to sell, I think, a little while ago because I was worried about retracements. And then I felt like we talk about, you know, I was getting kind of bored with it. And then like I want to move it and move on to something else. But I stood strong. And I'm at approximately 30% right now.
Not bad short-term trade. Not bad short-term trade.
So I don't know. And it's still got legs to go, but I feel like I don't want to look directly at it because I don't want to fuck with it. But
fair. Well, let's have a quick look. Let's do a shorter term trend line here. Our last candle was right there. I'm going to leave the bottom as our support. We've broken out. I'll zoom in a bit here. Sorry. Clean it up. So on the weekly, looking pretty interesting. I mean, the price is right at support resistance right now in the weekly. Like literally right on that price within fractions. We'll drop a couple extra weeklies in.
see, now that makes me think I should sell and wait.
Well, we don't know yet. We just got started.
So I shouldn't whine before you finish?
The sky is falling. Okay, so 4 lines, 3 horizontal, 1 trend, and a consolidation box. And we can see right now, we're right in the middle of the consolidation box. So bottom level of support, top resistance, and right in there. And our retest on the weekly. On the daily. Tremendous lag on my side.
Now you can just feel how the rest of us live with our crappy internet.
You
slum it.
I'm looking almost at a teacup and handle here pattern to take off. And I've been noticing a lot of teacup and handle patterns on some of the older coins right now that have been playing out, and there have been massive gains. If you followed our first hunt, we're well over, we're almost into the double 100 percentile on some of those early entries from those early days, which has been exciting. I'm looking at, this is definitely on the daily going to be, and this is, sorry, my internet here is and on the daily, I'm going to do a support, or sorry, just a lot of the price action lately has been in here. We came down, broke out. We can see we pulled back down to this support and resistance in here right now on this wick.
Do you mind making that a little bigger there, Home Skillet?
Sorry, this is very hard with.
I know. I'm sorry. I just.
I have about an 8-second delay on my screen, and it just keeps getting worse. So I'm hoping to see this up, a pullback, and then off. So this is what I personally am thinking is playing out. Oh, wow. Okay. With Gala, and that was, it's similar enough to what I wanted. I'm not going to change too much. Indicators are saying we have legs to run, which would still make this plan make sense. But we've had so much up, critical greed fired on the daily. Pullback makes sense. Pullback into this area here makes sense. You just said 33%. I mean, since our last down to now is 29. People are going to take profits. It's already pulled back to here, though. So this does come down to money flow coming in, because this has been a low in a while. And this is what I would like to see happen with Gala. Oh, man, this is getting really bad, almost to the point I won't be able to do this. So consolidating right here on the 4, this is nice. What we always see, up retracement, up retracement, up retracement, up. All of this is healthy. It's been holding this even on the 4s. This is good. And we have legs to run. But you can see there is fighting in that area. And how much? Oh, man, this is painful. That one candle alone is 6% from top to bottom with the wicks on the 4-hour. That is a lot of price volatility in 4 hours to land up right in the middle, which gives this price area in here support, which is telling us there's more legs to run. If I'm in Gala right now, am I selling? No.
Noted, my little primate friend. Thank you.
Am I expecting pullbacks? Yeah. But am I expecting major pullbacks? No. I'm not expecting major pullbacks until we start to see this. We're nowhere near. Jesus, is that going to draw? Not the line I drew. We are nowhere near. Oh my God. We're nowhere near currently in the situation.
I feel like it looks like it still has legs to run on the weekly as well. It has
tons. And are there going to be pullbacks? Yes. But, in the long-term picture, things are great. As we know, I wanted to post something on Friday, but with everything going on, I missed it. At the end, it was a tweet from ZSS Becker, if you know him. And he said, if you don't think the altcoin market can pull back at something like 40 to 45% at any given time, you don't know crypto. And we are only beginning, and we are going to see these pullbacks. And that's why in the short term, long term, in the game where we're playing long, we don't worry about these pullbacks. If we're playing short term, we want to make sure we miss those 20, 30, 40% pullbacks, and we're taking those profits. In the beginning, we started at 1. And I said, master the ones. We're in a bull. We're starting to see some wars, but don't get greedy. We're already seeing a lot of people taking a lot of success. Remember, 1% a day, 365 days a year, just 3,700 plus return. How much profit do you need? Swing trading should always be a small part of your portfolio. We've been talking about that. That is in our Discord in the slow trades of how I break the portfolio down. Those graphics have been uploaded if you haven't seen them. So speaking of uploaded graphics,
are we going to have a chance? Are we going to have a chance to get to stacks?
No. Sorry.
Well, then let's get on the Discord and we'll chat about it there. Okay.
Yeah, I would love to. My internet's getting really too flaky. I've been on the road. I'm tired.
No problem.
It's been great. I'm looking forward to this week to get that stuff out to you. Like I said, I have things coming. It's my slow trade list, what I would be holding, the set and forgets, which will come on those price points, pullbacks. Just like in our Discord where we have our entries that we're looking at and our exits, the set and forgets will be the same, but they're on a much larger time frame. Right? We're not looking at getting in and out of these within a week or a few weeks. We're looking at getting out of these maybe a few months to maybe the end of the bull market within a year. Set and forgets are a long time. And you'll see, just like we're doing these little steps with Casper and these others where we're like, oh, we want to get to here. The set and forgets are built the exact same way. There is no difference in our strategy. And if you think these short-term 49, 50% are, wait till you see the set and forgets. I'm excited. That's all I have to talk about.
21 days for you. 21 days is pretty good. That's a good streak, my friend.
There's been times where it got close to wanting to hit the FOMO button, but I'm happy with how all trade's been going. And
now that we're nowhere like tallying it all up, it makes it easier to go, do I want that number to really change? Oh, sorry. Yeah, but I'm halfway to my run of 12. So I'm at 6, feeling confident. Feeling confident, my friend.
6 days, half run of 12. You killed it. You're at 33% right now. You're holding long term. We just looked at it. It's doing well. I'm excited to bring you some trades this week. I am on the road for another 2 days, and I would like to dive in more if I could, but say la vie, IRL, touch grass, smoke grass, as they all say, whatever it is to your flavor. That's what I have on our show number 35, Monday, February 26th.
Pope, thanks for everything. Thanks, guys. I'm really glad you were here. So nice. Missed you the last couple of days. Had to move in the market, and I'm so glad that we were able to just update each other with it, which is great. Thanks, Pope, for coming in from Vancouver Island. Adore ya, and let's do it again tomorrow. What do you think?
Let's, and we will post it. Absolutely, as we always do with the link. It'll be live. And if you do have any questions, get them in the Discord. If we can address them, especially while on the road, we will. But if all things back to normal midweek, and we'll get into it. Ladies and gentlemen,
good night. See you later. See you later.